Welcome, everybody. Matt Long, Realtor here. I am trying to launch live here for Facebook and over on YouTube. I see YouTube, I got you all up and going right now. We are still waiting for some of the people to come in over on Facebook. And once that gets ironed out, I will get into today's session. I will be doing a report on the first quarter, Q1 of 2018. This is our market report for Florida. So if you're watching this from somewhere else in the world that is not Florida, one, you'll know because it's not wonderful and tropical like it is here in Florida, most likely. That's one indication. And the other is that this content will reach you in a way that it's gonna be similar to the market for the nation nationally, and what people want to know about is how is it improved. Running, and if you want to follow me or catch any of the content that we put together over on Facebook, it's just facebook.com/Matt Long Realtor, and you can reach me anywhere on social media at Matt Long Realtor. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the report. Now I'm going to be throwing out, again, because it's a housing report, or not a housing report, because this is a quarterly report, there are going to be numbers. I'm going to throw out some numbers, all right? And some of it might seem kind of daunting, but as I always do, I will explain. The most important thing is not just to have the information, but to understand it. So to get into it, the first quarter here in Florida, the Florida market, I'm going to break down to you and explain what I'm reporting and why I'm reporting these things, because that's the big things you're looking for. I'll start out with mortgage rates. I'll get into closings. I'll get into sales prices, and then I have a couple questions here I'll take from social media as well. So starting off, like I said, I'm going to start off with mortgage rates. So last Thursday, which is the 17th, was the end of that week. So week ending in May 17th, which is a Thursday for Freddie Mac, they reported that the long-term mortgage rate hit a 7-year high. Okay, and that's big for some very important reasons. Obviously, it says that it's starting to cost more money to borrow money to buy a house. That's what that's saying. It's costing more money, and it's cost more as of last week than it has any time in the last 7 years. That's important to know. The rate was an average of 4.61%, and that's what Freddie Mac was reporting. And that is, again, that's the highest since May 11th of 2000 in 2011. Now, this is also up from the second week of May. So the second week of May, when I'm starting to compile a lot of quarterly numbers, it was at 4.55%. So it's up even since just a couple of weeks ago, and it's up. The rate 1 year ago was right about 4.02%. So when you hear a lot of lenders, you hear, realtors, you hear people in the industry saying, hurry up, lock in that low rate, rates are not going to stay low forever. Well, it's true. They aren't, and they haven't. And over the last couple of years, they have slowly went up. So they've slowly went up. So absolutely, it is important to, if you're looking into buying a home and you're going to secure financing, the sooner the better with that. See, a bunch of people have jumped on here on Facebook. Hello, all. See you, Sam. Appreciate it. But again, like when I was going over some of the biggest things that you need to do when purchasing a home or any property, number one, even before finding somebody in my profession, take care of your finances. And again, this is why this quarterly report is so important, because rates are at an incline. And I'll explain more what that means here in a little bit. So rates are going up. You do want to try to do it sooner rather than later, because they will continue to increase from what economists are saying about where this market is going. Now, Freddie Mac says a healthy consumer spending and higher commodity price and led to the higher mortgage rate over the past weeks. So just to kind of recap, so consumers are spending at a healthy rate, right? Commodities are priced higher, and that troubled the people in the bond market, which led to the increase in mortgage rates. And that's been over the past few weeks. Obviously, if you pay attention to the news, there's been a lot of talks of trade wars, stuff like that. So lots of things can contribute it. That was Freddie Mac's explanation to why mortgage rates have went up. Now, there's terms thrown around a lot: buyer's market, seller's market. What does it even mean? Is it important? It is, and it doesn't have to be. In some sense, it is, because you want to know, it kind of tells you why the price is what it is. Supply and demand. The lower the supply with high demand, the higher the price. That's just inflation. That's just simple economics. So right now, what we're struggling with is inventory. And I'll get in a little bit in inventory, let you know exactly where it's at here in just a couple minutes. But our inventory levels are low. So the people that are actually having their homes on the market is at a low point. For housing to be balanced, a balanced market would be 6 months of inventory. Okay, so 6 months of inventory. And again, that's based on the size of the state or the city or the town or the zip code that you're in. That's going to change. So, but it's 6 months supply is balance. That doesn't happen too often, but that's where a balance is. So the prices are lower, and people being able to find houses more readily is more in tune. It's more balanced. So right now we're in what's called a seller's market, because again, we have lower levels of inventory. I know a lot of people are saying there is no inventory. There is inventory, just not enough inventory. And houses aren't staying on the market too long. Some of you may say, hey, my house has been sitting for 6 months. It's been sitting for 8 months. I tried to list it last year, and they said the same thing. It's a seller's market, and I got 2 offers, and they were lowball offers. Well, if that's your situation, I'm not going to address it here. Okay. If you do have questions like that, direct message me, email me, call me, text me. Easiest way to do all those things, download my free mobile app. If you look down in the description, if you're on Facebook, it'll be a little pop-up. Hit that box, download my free mobile app. register so you get full access. And it's the safest and best way to not only contact me, but to also search properties anywhere in North America. Your data is safe there. It's not going to get put into some pool like these other big sites where they're going to sell the information off, and now you're getting phone calls and, hey, I'm just calling you about that credit card. You know, that one credit card. Why don't you tell me what it is, and then we'll talk about it. No, you don't get any of that. It literally just goes into the database that is built for the app and my website, and it's there. And the only people that know about it is you and me, and that's it. And it will always stay that way. So, but being able to contact me about those things is very important, and that's something you should definitely contact me on, and we can sit down one-on-one or over the phone, or if you want to Skype, similar to like what we're doing now, we could definitely do that. Because if your home is sitting in a market that where homes are not typically staying on the market too long, there are a few things that could be and probably are going on. So it's definitely something we need to sit down and we need to talk about, and we need to strategize how can we get your home to sell like a lot of the homes in the market are. So again, it's a seller's market for a reason. Now, just because home prices are high and they're continuing to go up doesn't necessarily mean people are going to stop buying, and they haven't, and they shouldn't. Again, the rates are going up, but the rates are substantially lower than any time, since the bust, really. Just think about, and if I'm 34, in my parents' lifetime, I'm saving money now. When I purchased a house in 2010, I was at 3 something. I still have that. I still have that same rate. So you want to look at your situation. Again, it's part of having your finances in order. Understand your situation. Some people are looking at getting a second home, having that lower interest rate, which if you didn't have a lot of equity, then you probably have mortgage protection insurance. Is it still cheaper to have mortgage protection insurance and a low interest rate than refinancing to a higher rate? Again, talk to a mortgage broker about that. If you have questions on who to contact, again, download the free mobile app, contact me, and I'll let you know some of the reputable people that I work with on almost a daily basis. So getting your finances order is very much key. So when we take a look at this, the rate's going up. It's just becoming more expensive to borrow. Doesn't mean it's unaffordable to borrow. I'll hit that a little bit later on as well. I'm trying to get out as much as I can in this video on this report. If you have further questions, put them down below, either on Facebook, I guess maybe it's off to the side here or over here. Put them in this general area here, questions. And I will, if I don't address them on the video, I will definitely address them either one-on-one with you on the comment section, or I will do a whole nother video just on your particular topic. So ask away. The more questions I have, the better it is. So right now, like I said, it's a seller's market. So prices are higher and there's a high appetite for people to buy. A lot of people are coming in with multiple offers because there's not a lot of inventory. There's not a lot of as desired houses available or at desired prices. And a lot of times it's creating bidding wars where there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people all putting in offers at one time. Some of them all cash offers, and you're in a situation now, the sellers really pick and choose kind of what they feel the best offer is for them. So it is really that situation, not that every situation is the same. On the buyer side, you still have relatively low rates. Again, 4.61%. That is still a really low rate. That is a less than third of the rate that my parents may have had in the course of their time being able to buy houses. There's times where 10, 15%, interest rates on mortgages. Obviously, 4.6% in the grander scheme of things. I know a lot of millennials are going to the market. Well, I have a friend that has a 3-something. Here I'm close to 5. What? I don't want to pay that. Well, that's where it is. Is there a chance that maybe it comes down? That some of the markets are starting to settle and we're seeing stock market kind of recover? Maybe the rates do go down, but they're always subject to ebbs and flows and changes. So you're seeing the rates steadily go up over time. So even if there's that bump, it'll be a bump, and then you're going to catch it on a dip in the upswing. So right now, again, is a great time to go get approved, not just pre-approved, but go ahead and work on the process of getting approved for the loan. Okay. People say, oh, don't you just need a pre-approval letter? Yes. I do ask for a pre-approval letter before I go out and show homes. I absolutely do, because if you can't get the home, then I have to spend time on people that are actually buying homes and have the means to do so. I will entertain everyone. If you haven't got pre-approved and you want to look at homes, I have tons of wonderful options for you. I do give a lot of time to clients of mine who are not pre-approved yet, but to go out, look at homes, to be able to put in offers, you have to have that pre-approval letter to know that, hey, listen, based on this lender's opinion, I should be able to get approved for the mortgage. But what I'm saying is go a step beyond that. Because if you're ready with your mortgage now, if you're approved now, again, usually only lasts about 30 days, then you got to resubmit documents. If you're ready now, that's almost like cash. That's almost like cash. There's a lot of times where you're seeing a lot of people come to the table, 4, 5, 6 people come to the table. And now if the client sitting here is like, hey, I got these offers. This one's pre-approved. This one is approved. These ones don't know what they're doing. You're already approved. They know they're going to be able to close on the house a lot quicker because you're already approved. So that is a big plus. Again, it's almost like cash in hand. It's as close as you can get to not having cash in hand. So again, I have to emphasize financing first. Make sure you get your financing in order. If you have a problem, if there's a credit issue, you can do a credit check, pull your credit each year for free with the various credit reporting agencies. Make sure, especially since this last wave of issues, make sure there's nothing on there that is out of the ordinary. So this way you can address those concerns before you're getting into the loan process. If you have trouble with it, I have, again, some great referrals that I can give you that helps with credit repair, help get things off your credit, or if there's some debt you need to get rearranged and free up cash flow, contact me and I will be more than happy to share people I work with and that do a great job at helping with those things. So just to kind of flip it here, they would say, Matt, when is it a buyer's market? So a buyer's market would be when they have more than 6 months supply on the market, which is not where we're at right now, actually. And really people can go around and it forces sellers to drop prices in order to sell it. The bust was really more so almost a time of where it was very much a buyer's market. A lot of inventory unexpectedly was available, primarily because people couldn't pay their mortgages. So it was foreclosure, short sales, and stuff like that. By the way, in the 3-month period, Short sales are down. Short sales are down pretty significantly. So that's also a good sign of a healthier economy. Economists are saying that wage growth is up, and they're also saying that job creation is up. So those things are all going to lead into help balancing out affordability for the market, people buying homes. But like I said, the buyer's market would be when there's more than 6 months inventory, where you could really just go out and there would be 3 or 4 different homes that you probably want to put an offer on. Let's say that doesn't happen now, but that's typically what it is. So the seller's going to have to bring down prices to be more competitive to move their property over someone else's. So I want to get into prices. So pricing right now, one more note. The buyers, again, like I said, buyers are facing some inflation in the form of higher buyer cost, higher gas prices, which are actually at a 4-year high, just when we're about to hit summer and at the peak of the home sales. So that's a buyer's note there. So for sales prices, I want to get into that. Right now, for single family homes and condos, the prices went up. They rose in Florida, which is actually continued a trend that we've seen for a little while now, for 3 years or so. The Florida realtors report that new listings, so that's homes that were not previously on the market, their new listings are up over the course of that 3 months, the first quarter, 1.1%. That's a good sign that inventory is increasing. There's more inventory going on in the first quarter of this year than there was last year. And that's ahead of the busiest time of the year. So when they say when's the best time to put your house on the market? As soon as possible. That's usually my best answer. Getting the inventory out there is the best way. Put your good foot forward and start walking. That's usually the best way to tackle anything. But now that we're heading into the summer, where we have even a higher swing of buyers, the inventory needs to be there for people to buy the houses. So again, it's up 1.1% during that 3-month span, year over year. New condos and townhomes are up 2.9% year over year. Per the Florida Realtors Research, who partner with local realtor associations and boards, statewide, the median sales price for existing single-family homes is $248,000. Again, median price, anything that's median is, here's the highest, here's the lowest, it's right in the middle. It's not an average, it's right in the middle, which is up 9.7% year over year. Again, prices for the median price rose 9.7%. That is important to know because prices are going up. It's getting more expensive to borrow. Again, you want to get out sooner. Take advantage of the discounts and stuff you still have, because what you put offers in on today, in a couple months, will be should be considerably less in several months from now. Condos, townhomes, the median sales price was up to $180,000, and it was up. That's 7.8% year over year. Now we're kind of seeing some of this. Notice the pricing. Median prices for condos and towns on $180,000. $180,000 is a key number because what that does is that's putting in to where it's considered affordable housing, on the affordable end of housing, anything under $200,000. So that's kind of key there. So we've seen, again, those prices went up by 7.8% year over year. So that's good. Obviously, that inventory is moving a bit more, which it is. There is more inventory on the market there, which I'll get in here in just a moment. There, like I was saying earlier, fewer short sales. Single family homes down 46.3% over the 3-month period. That's big. That's almost half. Condos, towns, homes are down 37.8% over the 3-month period. That's huge. Seeing short sales down, meaning that the lending that's going on, the people that are buying homes are more stable. You're not seeing people that are getting into things that they can't afford and are losing them. Also, it's saying that those people that are getting loans, the process is working. People are getting loans that frankly should get loans, and they're able to buy those properties. So seeing those numbers go down, again, that's good. That's good. Contract times. Again, like I said, this is seller's market. Things are moving quick. The median time for a contract from time signed to executed, which means you're at the table closing. Single family homes for the first quarter was 45 days. 45. See why it's huge when I say get your finances in order? I'm literally, if you get approved for the loan, again, you're getting approved based on a dollar amount. When you get approved for a dollar amount, and then you're going to have to go through the process of approving the house. Because you get approved for the money, then the house gets approved for the money. Okay, so there's these processes that have to go through of approval. If you can get the part where the bank says we're going to give you money, if you can get that taken care of sooner, that's way better than a pre-approval. So that's something. Always try to focus on that if you can. And then for town, 8 days. All right. So inventory. We're talking about inventory. There's low inventory. So like I said, the balanced inventory is 6 right now. Single family homes for the state of Florida. Again, this will change based on where you live. If you're in Tampa, if you're in Orlando, if you're in Miami, if you're Ocala, the Villages, Gainesville, that Tallahassee, Jacksonville, these things are going to change. If you're out in Parrish, Florida, some people know where that's at, is at 5.9 months. So obviously 6 is balanced. So like I was saying before, you're seeing the pricing still go up on condos and townhomes because it's a seller's market, but it's more at the affordable spot. So you have more inventory out there and there's more supply. See how the supply, demand, things start to balance each other out. So that is for the inventory. Let me see here. So I guess the big question to really get out of this, I know we're at like the 27-minute mark here. Try to keep this within a half hour. What does this all mean and who does it affect? Anybody that's trying to buy or rent a house or sell a house or condo, townhome, vacant land, it's going to affect in some way. A lot of people like to say that the way the housing market goes, that's the economy. So the biggest people that are affected right now at our current status is first-time home buyers or the affordable homes. Like I said, the ones that are $200,000 or less. That segment of the inventory is at its very lowest. The margins aren't great, so builders aren't spending much time at all, if at any time, really building the affordable homes. under 200,000. And then on top of that, those that are out there, they're flippers that are going in, rehabbing, remodeling a property, and reselling it, and flipping the home. Again, if you're going to pick something up and it's worth investing the time to rehab the home, you're probably going to look more median, upper, depending on what the comps are in your area. People aren't going to look at, hey, what can I get by with this so I can make a couple bucks, generally, and look at how can I sell this affordably. It's generally not how it works. So it's really resorting to finding homes, in this case, that are either in more depressed economic areas or outside suburbs or outside of city areas, more rural type areas, to find the land or property that you're looking for at that price point. So we're starting to see some people that are moving outside of cities and commuting in. Others are going the route of, like we've seen, condos, townhomes. Those are selling pretty quick right now, and there's a good, like I said, we're about at a balanced supply. So there's a plentiful amount. If you're interested in condos and townhomes, there's a plentiful amount available. It's at 5.9% for the state. Let's see here. See I'll get two questions here that I got sent in. This one through direct message. Will sales or prices drop soon? Not likely. Economists are saying that at the current low rates, even though, kind of like I was saying before, they're rising, that it will not stop, or it's not likely to have much of an impact on borrowing. Now, we'll say if credit is an issue and you think it might be an issue, the more those rates go up, that dollar amount that you're paying per month that makes it affordable changes. So the better credit scores get better interest rates. So again, like I said, if there's one thing you do after this, other than like, follow, or subscribe, go get your free credit report. Go directly to them. I'm not recommending any websites or anything. You can go directly to the sources and get them for free. The full report, you get one per year from them. Just go get a free report. Make sure there's no shenanigans going on your credit report that's going to inhibit you from getting or slowing you down from getting a loan, from borrowing. All right. So that being said, also, the higher the rate goes up, obviously, there are some people that will slowly start to fall off being able to get a loan, just because higher rates make it less affordable. The rules and guidelines and stuff that they've put in since the crash have done a good job of making sure that people that shouldn't get mortgages aren't getting it. As we see, it's down, like we were saying, almost 50% over a 3-month period for short sales. And that's big. That's good. So the right people are getting loans. So we know that's working. Like I said, the largest deficiency in the housing market falls on starter homes. Again, they're typically $200,000 or less. The margins on those aren't as great, so they're harder to find. So do I see sales going down? No, there's still a high appetite for people to buy homes. Even though rates are going up, again, it's still a cheap rate. It's still such a discounted rate, even though the rates are continuing to go up. It's not going to deter anybody, according to what the market's saying and what economists are saying. And then here's the last question. Are we in another bubble? That's a great question. I don't see it. From the economists, that I've read and have had conversations with and whatnot have listened to, we aren't. See, what they do is actually a great reference is if you go over on social media, find me anywhere on social media at Matt Long Realtor. You find me anywhere out on social media. I put out an article from a site called Keeping Current Matters. And they did an article actually exactly on this. It was, let me see, let me pull it up. There's 4 key metrics that they're looking at to kind of compare and measure. Is this a bubble? Is this, mortgage debt and housing affordability. Okay, so I'm going to address them in that order. Obviously, home prices, we've already talked about. Again, prices are going up. It's up 7 to 9%, depending on what kind of house you're buying over the quarter, year over year for the first quarter. So obviously, it's up. People are seeing prices for houses. You're seeing your neighbor's house go up for sale. $312,000 for that. It's not worth that. It's not worth that. Well, in this market, that's what the value is. That's what the market value is. It's much less to replace it, but that's what the current market value is because of the lack of inventory. If you want to help people buy more houses, sell more houses, encourage builders to build more houses. The more houses we have to sell to people who want houses, the more it gets to balance. Prices start to come down. So start selling stuff or ask people to build you stuff. Increase the inventory. So a chief economist with CoreLogic, Frank Northraff, again, this is in the article, it's over on social media. He said, even though CoreLogic's the National Home Price Index got to the same level it was at the prior peak in April of 2006, once you account for inflation over the ensuing 11 and a half years, again, it's been 11 and a half, 12 years since then, counting for inflation, the values are, and I quote, he emphasizes strongly, it says right here, emphasizes strongly, they're still about 18% below where they were. So where we were in 2006, valuation wise, when you take inflation into consideration over the last 11 and a half years, you're still getting an 18% discount on the current valuations. That's good news. Again, your rates are going to be better now in 2018 than we're in 2016. Again, more great news. So if you're a buyer looking to find a house to purchase, you're still getting an 18% discount on the value, and you're getting a better rate than it was before the bust too. So great news. The second indicator, the second metric, mortgage standards. I talked about this quite a bit because we've seen the short sales are down. We've seen that the inventory on the market is relatively low. It's been tough for some people to get loans, even though it has loosened up in a sense because rates are getting higher. Rates are higher. That means they're taking on more risk, but also that's meaning with wage growth and job growth that they feel that people can purchase homes. The Urban Institute's Housing Financial Policy Center issues what's called a Housing Credit Availability Index, an HCAI. And basically what it does is it's a graph, has some lines on it. I'll share it out on social media, and it's in the article. It's already on social media, and it basically says that this line is where the products are for credit, the risk, and this is where the borrower is for risk. So when they parallel, when they mirror each other, and they're together, that means they're right on. So right now, currently, they're actually at the best rates, they're in the best position as far as the index has since 2008, and that was on a decline. So it has increased. The products and borrowers risk the lines are closer together, which is good. They're actually right together. I literally cannot see an inference on the graph, even zooming in. So in 10 years. So it's a best situation as far as mortgage standards in the last 10 years, according to the chart, okay, according to their index. Third, mortgage debt. Okay, so what they generally look at is a debt ratio, debt to income ratio. How much of your monthly disposable income goes towards paying for your mortgage. One thing I want to bring in this real quick, it's not in most of these reports, but student loans have been a deterrent for some. Again, I must emphasize, make sure you have your finances in order, because if you have a considerable amount of student loan, I don't want to see this hamper you from getting a home. My first home we were able to buy with student loan debt. We bought in 2010. Again, great value on that. I'm not going to brag about it right now, but I was in at the right time. So right now, want to make sure your student debt isn't hampering you a bunch. At the height of the bubble, 11 years ago, 10 years ago, the ratio stood at 7.21%. So 7.21% or over 7% of the disposable income for the households was spent on the mortgage. That's high. That's pushing it. They want to see it usually 6% or below, or 5% or below. The lower, the better. That's also, not everybody has to go out and buy the biggest house or, the best house available. So, again, find a realtor, great realtor in your area. If you're in Florida, you can contact me and I can help you directly throughout Central Florida. If you're anywhere else in North America and you have a question and you're looking for a realtor, contact me and I can help you make sure that we can help find you the property you're looking for. Obviously, there is a lack of inventory. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So it may just be a little harder to find, or we have to kind of put some feelers out there. Not everything is listed on the MLS. There's a lot of properties that are listed every single day that don't make it to the MLS. So having a realtor, having somebody in the industry that networks and communicates with people helps you find what you're looking for much more than the average. So right now, today, that ratio, the debt service ratio is what it's called. It is at 4.48%, which is really good. Like I said, more responsible people. That is the lowest it's been in 38 years. So that's the lowest it's been since 4 years before I was born, right? I was still not yet a twinkle in my daddy's eye, and it was, yeah, that's amazing. It also shows you how over the 80s and 90s they learned to foul stuff up. So number 4, the last one, right? Housing affordability. Now, again, Matt, you've been hammering about affordability. There's a lot of issue with finding affordable houses. So houses under 200,000, don't get that confused. But is it affordable? Yes. Housing, according to the Housing Affordability Index, it's put out by the National Association of Realtors. And kind of, again, in perspective of the first point I made about home pricing, there's still 18% discount. Right now, it is, homes are more affordable now, according to this index that the National Association for Realtors put out. They're more affordable now than any time since 1985, except when the prices crashed after the bubble in 2008. So it took a market to crash to get more affordable than it is now. Again, the rates, yes, at the beginning of this report, I said rates hit a 7-year high, 7 years. Again, we're talking crash, just post crash. So they're recovering. Rates were going down. So if your up rate is on their down slope, you're going in a good direction. You're in a good direction. You're still very affordable when it comes to rates. Again, housing prices, 18% discount, given inflation to where it was, again, 11 years ago with the crash. So you're sitting in a good position. Don't feel that you're doing the wrong thing by going in and buying a home during a seller's market. But if you're going to go buy a home now, make sure you get your finances in order first, because the way you're set up financially, going into the offer is definitely could very much decide if you get that house or if you're going to be looking still. So that's all the time I got for this today. Ran a bit over. Thank all of you over on Facebook. Ton of you over on Facebook. So again, if there's any other questions, just type them in down below. Direct message me, tweet at me, or email me, text me. Download the free mobile app. You can get that. Just go to, if you're on Facebook or over on YouTube, you should, in the website section of my profile, you should find it. And also, if you click the see more button on the description for either Facebook or YouTube, you will find the link at the bottom. Download the free mobile app. Best, safest way to search for houses and to contact me. It works anywhere in North America. So you guys have been great. I will do this every quarter. I have a few other videos and content that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned.